Good morning, TikTok. Well, I was outside eating my breakfast by the fire. I made banana nut pancakes and bacon, but the bacon goes to the dog. That's why I bought it. I love bacon, especially BLTs, and I like it crumbled on my baked potatoes. I mean, I love bacon, but the dog gets the bacon. I mean, it's only fair. I got a fried egg. He doesn't like eggs unless they're scrambled with cheese, and he doesn't like pancakes at all. So, um, I was sitting outside by the fire, but since it's a weekday, all the hunters have left. Now, they'll be driving through every once in a while, but they're not camping. There's only one couple here left in this campsite, and they are fighting like crazy. I mean, like crackhead fighting, and it's very uncomfortable. I came back inside the van, and I'm going to read. Um, there are only like 3 campsites over from me, but it made it very uncomfortable because it's only us 3 in the woods, in the 30 miles away from civilization, to have some people fighting like that, just maybe 50 feet away from me. It was very uncomfortable. I don't like fighting. I don't like confrontation. Tyler and I would argue, but it was like bickering. And when it would get to the part where we'd raise our voices, I would leave. I would leave until it calmed down, and then we could have a calm conversation about what we were fighting, which usually was about his drug use or him spending too much money on his drugs. That's only at the end, his mother got him to dislike my son. I told you that story where she bought my son a bunch of marijuana. $100 worth for a 17-year-old and gave it to him as a gift without asking me, and then proceeded to tell everybody he was lazy because he wouldn't help her work. Well, you just gave him $300 worth of medical. Well, what do you think a 17-year-old is going to do? But anyway, so Tyler and I would fight about that because he said my son was lazy, even though my son was finishing 11th and 12th grade in 1 year. He was doing credits for 11th and 12th grade because he'd been living in Canada with his dad. He wanted to go up there. That's why we lived in Vermont. So, because I wanted to be closer to my son. See, my son's father left when he was 2. He had left me for some, like, 18-year-old girl, and they got in a fight, and he hit her. Never touched me in the 9 years we were together. Well, we were together 13 years, but married 9 years or something. Never touched me, and we fought the same way that I fought with Tyler. As soon as our voices raised, we would go our separate ways. I had an art studio, he had the garage, and we would wait until our tempers, like, went down. Then we could talk calmly. Never even raised a hand at me. And anyway, he said he was protecting himself from the girl, and I kind of believe him, even though he's a big liar, because she was psycho. And anyway, so he went back to Canada. He had dual citizenship, and he went back to Canada and disappeared out of our lives until my son was about, I don't know, 12 or 13. And then my son desperately wanted to go see his dad and be with his dad. He hadn't seen his dad since he was 2. Hadn't really even heard from him. No Christmas presents, no birthday cards. But he wanted to know his dad, because his dad was a cool guy once upon a time. That's why I fell in love with him. But he got up there, and within like 2 or 3 years, he realized his father was very selfish and not a very good person. I guess he had gotten into a lot of drugs after we split. And because when I met him, we were doing yoga, we were walking 3 to 6 miles a day, and we were in good shape. We ate healthy. But I guess when my son went up to live with him in Canada, with him and his new wife and my son's new little brother, his wife was very, like, straight, very normal, and very sweet. I liked her very much. Mary. And Gabriel was adorable. But I guess Randy had kind of given up on life. And it's really sad because he had so much potential. But my son didn't want to be up there anymore and came back, but he had to make up the credits. So he had to take 11th and 12th grade together to graduate with his friends. And that was a lot of work because it was not just school. He had to do Zoom classes online after school to make up for all these credits. So I didn't make him work. There was no time for him to work. He had so much studying to do, to graduate. And that pissed Tyler and his mom off so much that I didn't make him work. But I thought school was more important. But anyway, don't fight. Especially when you're making... they know they're making me uncomfortable. I'm the only person out here with them. But you know how they always say count to 10 when you get angry before you, like, explode on someone? It's a good rule. So my advice is, when you start getting in that argument, and especially when you're married, after that 7-year itch, arguments get worse. And count to 10. Walk away. Walk away and come back with a clear head, because you're going to say things that you don't mean. You're going to let little things that have been bothering you build up and enter into that argument. Like, if he keeps leaving his dirty underwear and his socks on the floor, that's going to come up in the argument, even though it has nothing to do with it. Or you don't like the way she leaves hair in the sink. Shit like that's going to come up, and it's going to get personal. And it's not going to be about the drug money or the, spending too much money on makeup. It's going to be about personal little things, and it's going to hurt feelings. So count to 10, walk away, go do something, go for a jog, go into your art studio, paint, read, Just take a walk around the block. Let it cool down so it doesn't get personal. And I'm not a coach. I'm not a life coach. I've made a lot of mistakes. And the only reason that I'm giving advice is because I've learned from my mistakes. And if that could help anybody, in the heat of the moment, though, sometimes it's hard to walk away. But try. If that could help just one person, this video was worth it. So, have a good day. Be kind. Be kind to your spouse. Be kind to yourself. Don't take things that don't belong to you. Don't be an acevedo. And count to 10.